What is the album about?
It's really a lot about, kind of me reflecting on who I am, where I want to go, what I want to do with my life, as a Christian, as a person in general. It really has a lot of personal stuff that I've gone through as, just growing up, especially within the last couple of years with, kind of losing a lot of my family members this year, with just a lot of, kind of ups and downs. Life is, honestly a roller coaster, but the thing that I really want people to realize and what I really want them to see is, you still have to kind of realize who you are in the midst of everything that's going on, and you have to still be able to kind of prevail, above it, and you gotta like persevere and push past it all, that type of thing.
Tell me about your songs.
Each and every song has its own unique style. Like I said, the name of the actual album is going to be called No Regrets of My Reflections. So I really put a lot of focus into each individual song, kind of relating it to kind of everything that I do, kind of everything that I am. So there's one song that really deals with the fact that me trying to learn how to be happy with everything that's been going on in my life. Really trying to understand where I've been going, that type of thing. I've got a couple of songs on there really dealing with the pain of losing my dad. Something that you can't really prepare for. I lost, quite a few family members, this year, and it's been a toll. And I've still had to get up every morning and put a smile on my face for other people, and that type of thing. So every song has its own individual piece of who I am.
So, who are you?
Uh, it's been really, really hard trying to figure out that. I'm still yet learning who I am. So it's kind of difficult to answer that question, but I can definitely say that I'm learning that I'm not broken because of my brokenness, and I'm not hurt because of the hurt that I've gone through. I'm not the pain that I've been through. I'm not any of those things. I am a conqueror. I'm strong. I am somebody who's willing to take the risk. After so many times being told I'm not good enough, or so many times being told that I'm not going to make it, those type of things, they hurt, but in the end, you have to realize that you as an individual, me as an individual, I'm still going to make it no matter what, because God says that I will. I rely a lot on my religion, and I rely a lot on God as far as developing who I am, but a lot of it comes from just failure. I know that I'm not a failure, so I've got to be successful, right?
So, tell me about your genre. I know you maybe have been called R&B, gospel, pop. Like, how do you describe it?
I really don't like to be labeled as a R&B artist. I don't like to be labeled as a gospel artist. I definitely don't like to be labeled as a pop artist. Honestly, I'm just an artist. It's really, really funny because when I was younger, when I was growing up, and my cousin, they would always talk about how, I wasn't cool, or, something. I would always tell them, I'm not one to be labeled. I don't like to be labeled. Don't label me as cool, because just because you think something is cool, I don't think something is cool. I didn't grow up, wearing the best clothes. I didn't grow up wearing the best name brands, anything like that. I really kind of just was like, whatever is comfortable and whatever my parents bought. So when it comes to my music and when it comes to my artistry, I'm not a specific type of artist. Yes, I am a Christian. Yes, I do gospel music. Yes, I do R&B music. Yes, I do a lot of different types of music, but I'm definitely not a single type of artist. I'm just an artist. I love for a message to be heard with whatever I'm doing. If I'm going to paint something, I'm going to paint something that has a message behind it. If I'm going to sing something, I'm going to sing something that has a message behind it.
And what do you want your listeners to understand as they listen to you?
I really want my listeners to know that there is so much more to just who they are. A lot of the things that I learned while I was writing and while I was going through the experiences, while I was doing a lot of the different things, I learned that I'm not what I'm going through. And I really want those people that are going to listen to my songs, I want those people to understand that no matter what they go through, they still have a voice. Just like I have a voice, even though there were so many times where I thought that my voice was taken away because of this, or because my voice was taken away because of that, or because, you know, they said that I didn't have a good enough voice. I never want people to feel that way. I want people to realize that no matter no matter the hurt, no matter the pain, no matter the struggle, no matter the, you know, whatever they're going through, no matter the abuse, you know, verbal abuse, physical abuse, whatever it is, I want people to realize that, you know, you still have a voice and people need to hear it.
Tell me about your journey into music and where it's going from here. That's a two-parter, but
Well, my journey into music, well, kind of how I got started is kind of how every young kid gets started. You know, listening to Michael Jackson and, you know, the different, you know, big artists. You know, when I was young, I didn't get the opportunity to listen to a lot of the R&B and rap that, you know, my cousins or, you know, other people that were my age got to listen to. I listened to a lot of really old music. My dad, he loved like the Temptations and, you know, people in that era. So everything, you know, for me was like 60s and 70s and 80s. That's what I was brought up on. That's what, you know, my parents, you know, really, that's what all they listened to. As I grew up, because I did grow up in the 90s, I did get a chance to hear a lot of 90s music, you know, once I got, you know, older. But most of my background comes from, you know, watching Michael Jackson, watching, you know, some of the greats become the greats. And I remember when I was young, I used to watch the Jackson 5, the movie that they had out, and how they, you know, would work so hard. So I know that, you know, it sounds kind of cliche, but I would do the exact same thing that they would do. And I would sit there in my room and I would write, and I would go and I would record. I used to have this little this little tape box and this little keyboard, and I used to record songs. And when, you know, family would come down, you know, me being the only child, you know, all I had to do was, you know, just sit there and, you know, do stuff on my own. So when, you know, I had family come over or friends come over, I would play songs for them, and, you know, I'd try and get them to do stuff. And I remember growing up, we used to have a talent show every year. You know, with the family, every time we had a family reunion or a family gathering or something, we would have, you know, talent shows and stuff. And, you know, I was always, you know, rallying people together. I was like, let's do this song, let's do this, let's do that. I want to dance, I want to sing. So me growing into my artistry came a lot from kind of watching and learning and realizing that I just like music. I just, no matter whether or not I was dancing, no matter where I was singing, you know, I just loved music. You know, growing up, even when I, you know, was in high school, I had a group, you know, me, my cousin, and, you know, a couple other people, and we were like dancing and, you know, making up dances, and we were dancing for the church. And then I remember before I got in high school, 1997 or 1998, we went to this new church, and this is, you know, kind of where I grew up in the church. We got there and the kids choir was singing, and that's what really kind of just was like, oh mom, I want to do this. This is what I want to do. And I remember writing a song, and it took forever for them to say okay, but I wrote a song for the kids choir, and, you know, we got to perform it, and I was like, this is it. This is what I want to do. I want to be Kirk Franklin. You know, that was my you know, that was my thing. So ever since then, I've just always been into music.